Hello and welcome to AXSChat. We're delighted to be joined today by Rajen Nair. Rajen is a photojournalist and is based in India and is working on a number of community-based projects. So Rajen, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you are doing?
Okay. First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me to the show. And I'm really very grateful talking to you all. I'm basically from born and brought up in Bombay, and it was it was a small incident that happened in my life, which I went on. I got involved into the deaf community, and later on the cancer affected children. Way back in the late 90s, I had a hearing problem. So then I showed to an ENT doctor. He said is that I'll have to do some surgery, and if I don't do the surgery, I might become completely deaf. So I did a surgery in the year 2000, and unfortunately my ear surgery was not successful to me. What they did is that they had removed my middle bone, and they had fixed a sort of a implant they did in my ear, but it wasn't successful. And to add to my problem, I got tinnitus also. Due to this, I continued struggling with my hearing. I had to give up my business, small business. And then what am I going to do? So what I did is that I did a course in journalism. At the same time, I did a course in photography. And the first freelance, I started working as a freelance photojournalist come journalist. And the first breakthrough I got was Guardian UK. I started contributing articles to them for around about a year or two. At the same time, I started doing a lot of street photographies and posting it in the social media. So I started getting more recognition in my photography. So here is a guy who didn't have any inclination towards photography when I was in school or college. And all of a sudden, I find myself into the world of photography and people recognizing me about my photography and all. So what could be the reason? Is it so that due to my loss of hearing from my right ear and utilization of my eye and hand more in seeing things had led me to become a good photographer? So perhaps that was the answer which I got it. So I felt I should share my photography skill to the deaf community, because I believe is that they are dependent on their eye and their hand for communication. So I felt is that photography is all about coordination between eye and hand. So they could become a good photographer. I started taking free photography lessons during Saturdays, visiting around about 10 kilometers away from my home, carrying load of cameras on my back. Looking at my work, I got some 9 to 10 cameras donated by a few friends who came together in Sydney. And one of the lady was flying to India, and she bought all the camera and gifted to me, which was very helpful for me to use it in my workshop. So I started taking classes for the deaf community. Later on, I was not able to, I continued for a couple of years. It was very difficult, taking classes, bearing expenses of travel, food. Then we used to arrange for outdoor also. There again, we had a lot of difficulties. There is not much of a concession in traveling in India for the handicaps. And we built up a wonderful group of deaf photographers. I'm very proud to say, as of today, I've been in this teaching them from last more than 10 years. And I'm proud to say there are 10 of my students are working as a professional photographers. We are in touch with each other. Then in 2014, I got involved with the cancer kid, because I felt is that treatment to cancer kid, I mean they are taking care only about the physical aspect. There is a lot of pain and suffering when a cancer kid goes through chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and all. So, but what about the mental health care? So I felt if you give them something, involve them in some sort of a creativity, it's going to make them happy, a better frame of mind. Maybe it can help them battle the cancer as well. Or they can help them battle the cancer also in a better way. So I continued with in 2014, I added the cancer children into my group. Then thereafter, I got invited in different part of India. I went to Faridabad, I went to Goa, and in different places, I did photo workshop. In 2016, I was given an award by the government for my work. And then later on, I was selected as one of the Mumbai heroes also in 2016. So, and lately during the lockdown period, what I did is that most of the children were very scary about, COVID. My interaction with my students is not like a sir and a teacher, like a sir and a student relationship. I am more of a mentor as a guide, but more of a friend to them. So even I try to get them involved in their joys, in their happiness, in their sufferings also. I listen to their problem. I come out with some solution to them. So that kind of a relation which I have got it. And I felt is that this lockdown was having a very serious mental effect on the children, especially the cancer kids. So I told them to get involved in the creativity, whether it is drawing or whether it is sketching also. They can't go out, so not much of a photography. So I started a group in Instagram, separate account for the cancer kid known as Cancer Art Project. And for the deaf, I started Enable Photography. Should I continue? Right. Yeah.
So I think Debra has a question.
No.
No, you don't. Sorry.
But I will ask a question. I really appreciate you took this opportunity. Your life, life gave you a sort of lemons, and you lemonade with it. And through your own experience of losing hearing, you use that to help others. And so yes. And so are you focusing on children, adults, or a combination of people?
Yeah. I mean, see, bulk of my
students all people.
Yeah. Have you completed? Can I answer? Yeah.
Yes, I apologize. Yes.
Yeah, I started, teaching in the school when the students were quite small, around about 14, 15, 15 years. Now those students have become adult. So since we are continuing with the relationship. Whereas in case of cancer children, I teach photography in one of the premier cancer hospital in India, that is Tata Memorial Hospital. Okay, so I'm allowed to take photography every alternate week in the pediatric ward. So most of them are kids, not adult. But in some cases, what I help their fathers also in becoming a photographer. The cancer children's father also. So, but bulk of most of the students in cancer group are children, whereas among the deaf group, most of them are above 18, but not about 22 or 23.
So do you when you say you're taking photos, you're taking photos in the pediatric ward, are you taking photos of the individuals? I mean, I haven't seen the photos. So how do you decide what photos to take?
Yeah, basically my classes, when I take my class, basically I teach them what is the operational part, what are the main features of a camera, the basic photography I teach them. See, my challenge when I'm taking classes with the children is to see that they get involved they give attention to me, they get involved. It is very difficult to grab the attention of the small kids.
Right.
Yeah. And
you have to more entertain the small kids.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to, I have to come to their level myself acting as a kid, and try to gel with them, try to keep their attention alive, try to motivate them, try to give a pep talk, And it's really difficult because they get distracted by all sort of things. And this classes is conducted in a pediatric ward, so there is always a lot of patient moving around, lot of disturbance, everything is there. But at any given time, I have around about 15 to 20 kids. Some of them are above 10, some are below 10. Below 10, they create a big nuisance. They don't know anything about photography. They are just out, to have some good fun, roaming about, disturbing me. They're trying to control them also at the same time. But I don't like to tell them to leave the place, but I try to control them. And out of this 15, at the end of the classes, the children who come to me and take my cell number shows that they want to continue. I don't expect everybody to get involved in my photography. And I insist that you don't, not necessarily that you have to really be interested only in photography. You can be good in sketching. You can be good in drawing. Most of them are good artists. You might be a good dancer. You might be good in listening and all. So I encourage them what they want to be. Some of them genuinely are interested in photography. Then the continuity is there. I take them in my group. And as and when I get the time, I teach them online through videos and everything and all. Now, when it comes to outdoor photography, I mean, we try to we try basically to take street photography. And then we go near to the sea. I tell the students, you choose what is going to be the subject of your liking, and you take the photos. Later on, I will judge what is the photo, how is the photos. So I leave it to the children. I don't give them I don't tell them you have to shoot this, you have to shoot that, you have to shoot this and all. I leave it to them and let them shoot. Then later on, I give my judgment on the photos.
Okay, so I'm gonna step in here so that we can ask you some questions. So what you're doing is you're exposing these children, many that are deaf or hard of hearing, to different career options that they could have in the arts. So they could be photojournalists, they could sketch. You're just introducing them to different career options that they could be successful in the future, right?
Right.
Which is a good idea, because we often don't see that happen. So you're broadening the horizons of what could be and how they could contribute in the world as they grow up, which is pretty cool.
Yes. Right.
And also helping the mental well-being of young cancer patients.
Yes.
Again, this is more about the photography for them is a focus to help them cope with the stress that they're going through during treatment. I mean, I've seen your photos on Instagram. I'm a big Instagram fan. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
And also you're doing reportage on street scenes, and there are people there with disabilities. How is this funded? Because you said that it's expensive to travel and all of this. Are you raising funds as a charity, or do you have donors? How do you support yourself to support others?
I'll tell you the unique selling point of my whole project is that it is not funded by anyone. It's more of a self-funding. It's more of a support from my wife. She's working. It's more of a support. I get more of a. Funding is a major problem. No doubt about it. But then I am not charging anything from for my classes. It is totally free. I can't think about charging anything from the deaf or from the children also. I was funded twice. Somebody else took an initiative, crowdfunding they did. I got twice. In my 11 years, I got a certain amount from 2 efforts of crowdfunding. I bought some few cameras and all. Some I kept it for my travel expenses, my outdoor expenses and all. Other than that, earlier I used to get writing assignment. Then that money was coming, but lately the writing assignment is not there, not very much there. So the funding is basically my own money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not started an NGO. I did think about starting an NGO, but then I felt is that I didn't own a place. I don't have a place. I'm a small guy. it's a one-man show. So I did make an effort to get some places, but I couldn't get. I'm still making effort. And NGOs, because I felt is that let me see as an individual how much I can contribute, how much maximum benefit I can give to this kid. And I always had a apprehension that if I started an NGO, perhaps I would be more involved in the administration part, in building up a structure, and maybe running after donation. So I felt I will keep my my activities limited but more effective.
Okay.
And one thing I want to prove is that one can do quite a lot if the intention is there, if the will is there, even without money also, and it can be quite effective also.
So Antonio has a question.
Yeah.
So you are trying to avoid bureaucracy while doing your work as much as you can.
Yeah.
So I would like you to describe us your week. Where you go, how you take the pictures, how you and a little bit of the creative process behind it.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, after the lockdown, we are all under home arrest. So, I mean, the only connection which I have with my student is through WhatsApp, through video calls. They keep on every day. I get lot of sketching, drawing, photos from my cancer kid, then from my deaf student. So almost half the day, during the lockdown period, it is like in the morning, I will make some selections of the photos, what has to be posted. I have a long list of waiting list of photos to be posted. Then I have to post it in enable photography, which is for the deaf and disabled. Then thereafter, then I will have to take the photos of the cancer children. Then I'll have to open cancer art project in Instagram, feed in my password. These are all time-consuming process. Then again, I have to post in cancer art. Then I'll have to post it, share it with Facebook. Then I have a Twitter account where again I have to disconnect my personal account, get into cancer art project, post their photos. Half the day is gone in that. Then later on in the afternoon, I'll be chatting with some of the kids about what they intend to send tomorrow, exchanging of ideas, what subject they have to choose, everything and all. So almost the whole day is gone. Before lockdown, it was like once in a week I have to go to the hospital and take my photo classes, and then we can't afford to go have every day go out for outdoor. Arranging for an outdoor program is not a easy thing. I'll have to take the permission from the kids' parents. Then I have to see how many kids are willing to come. Logistic planning have to be done, everything and all. Maybe 2 times in a month we go out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm interested because you've created you've got at least 10 people working as professional, 10 people working that you've trained that are now professional photographers.
Yes.
Do they help feed back into the community as well? Is that something that you might?
Yeah. All this deaf photographers are part of my group, which I interact almost on a daily basis with them, and some of them are working in a photo agency. They are working in a photo agency. Some of them have started as a professional photographers. They do small assignment like parties. Some of them are working under as an assistant to the main photographer, wedding photographers and all. So but at the same time we are in touch with each other. The photos which they share is the photos which they take personally. They like a good landscape, a passing cloud, or maybe street photographies and all. They send it to me and I do the posting. They have their own individual account also. At the same time, they post it in their individual account and they share it with me. So I do posting in enable photography. So the basic idea is to give them a large coverage. To see that, I always felt is that as a society, as a world, we are not giving as much attention that is required for the kids, and especially for the deaf community. What I'm trying for the deaf community is to see that, right now I believe there is two world. One is a deaf community world and one is the mainstream world. I try to bring it both together. I think as long as the deaf don't come into the mainstream, it is not going to help them much. We in India, we basically there are sign language is not taught in schools and colleges, so that's a basic problem. There are very few non-deaf people who know sign languages. So we are trying at the moment. There is a campaign that is going on among the deaf community, is to include sign language as a 23rd official language of India. So helping them, is to come to the mainstream. I believe that people are going to judge you with your work. Don't worry, you're not able to communicate, or you will have some problems about marketing. But there are a lot of good people who wants to do something for the disabled. They come to me, Rajan, how can I help you? What I say is that, okay, I need help from you, which is going to be solid, which is going to be concrete. Just give them some job. Whenever you need a photographer, you tell me, or here are few names of my students. Just give them small jobs. Give them a chance, give them an opportunity so they can come up. And I think this idea is much more acceptable to a lot of people also. So this is how we go about. But still, there is a lot of struggle for the deaf community in getting job, in getting a life partner. Communication is still a major problem here. And let me tell you, most of the deaf students, I find they themselves are not very conversant with sign languages also.
Okay, so one of the things that we see in the global north is that there is a signing community and then there is a non-signing deaf community, and the non-signing deaf community are quite often quite keen to adopt technology, and there's quite a lot of tech on mobile phones, like captions and so on, that whilst not perfect can be helpful. Are your students taking advantage or aware of some of the technologies that are available for free on mobile phones?
Yes, I mean they are far ahead as far as technology is concerned. They are much more savvy. They know about Zoom. They know everything. All the it's a big hit among the youth. And they are also a part of the youth community. So they are quite savvy about the technology. And I get to hear new technology from my students, from my deaf students, and they are really very good about it. They are very good about it.
Yes. Yeah. So what would your ideal outcome be if you were to if you were to grow your photography? What would you like to achieve? Finding a path into employment for people, funding to teach more classes, or to expand?
You're talking about my personal ambition, future ambition?
Yes, for your personal ambition.
No, see, I mean, now Bombay is a very expensive, city. Even to hire a small place to pay rent and all is going to be, quite high. So right now, what we do is that we have an open sky class. Like we go outdoor. I'll be standing in wherever I have to explain to them in theory or practical and all. We get together in a street corner. You'll see some of my photos where I'm teaching on the street, right on the street, and I'll teach them now about the basic photography, now about wide angle, about the portraits and all, and then we start taking photos. I see myself, continuing with the same role. I believe that social media is going to be a huge platform for the deaf, for the disabled to reach out. They have been. I have less finance to have a place of my own. I would definitely like to have a place, because a lot of parents comes to me and says that they want to send the children to me for taking classes. This is where is the disadvantage is that I don't have a place. I can't call everybody at my home also. Same time, they are very small also. As far as outdoor, it's not a daily affair. You know, a lot of planning goes into outdoor also. So these are the minus point. But given the circumstances, I try to do what is best. You know, and as of today, I have imparted teaching to more than thousands of students all over India. And besides Cancer Kit, Disabled, I have also taken classes for almost 1.5 years in Dharavi. You might have heard about Dharavi, which is the largest slum area in India, not only in India, in Asia. And I've taken classes for the underprivileged children. Then I've taught photography to the autism also, because I believe autistic children are very very special case, because their thinking process is not in words, it is in pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I believe photography and creativity is going to be quite helpful to them. So if I had to reach out to all this autism, everything and all, basically what is lacking is funds. I don't have the funds, I don't have the resources, neither I have the place also. So as far as my future activities is concerned, there is a limitation. I will try to take the help of technology, in which is Zoom is there, where I believe I can take classes. We need not go to I need not even have a place. I can teach from my home to all the kids. So Zoom is going to be quite helpful, and we are working on it right now. I've already installed it, and I'm seeing that some of the the deaf student, because they are a little bit adult, so they are much more conversant with all the technology. So maybe very shortly, I'll be taking classes through Zoom. So I believe that's going to be a very big thing.
Great. And of course, Zoom allows you to have subtitles or captions.
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
So I think the other thing that I'm interested in is that you're teaching people to take photographs. Are you teaching them how to edit photos as well?
No. I myself is not good in editing.
Okay.
And I am not a big believer in editing. I do editing of my photos only for brightness, exposure, little bit, nothing more. I don't like to really manipulate too much into the photos. I don't encourage my student also. I say that what is there in the mind, you try to capture your mind and try to keep it as it is. Wherever you believe the light is less, you can do a little bit of brightness and all. Rather than then we talk about digital photographies. I'm really not into digital photography. I'm not a big fan of digital photography.
So what cameras are you using?
I'm using, I've got a Nikon DSLR D90, which is an old model. And then I've got D70 DSLR Nikon 70, which is much older model than D90. Then recently I was gifted a Canon DSLR camera by somebody from Twitter. He saw my work and he said that he wants to buy a camera for me to use it for my kid. So I have that. And then I have my iPhone also, which I'm using for street photography.
Okay.
I'm also encouraging my student to get into self photography also, because I believe that's going to be the future. Because you see, I mean, none of the student would be able to afford to buy a DSLR. And same time, I don't want the kids to go to the parents and trouble them to buy a camera, because then parents will come to me and make a complaint also. So what I said is that, all poor, basically 99% of my kids are all from the poor people, poor families as well. Yeah. So I tell them is that if you don't have a camera, don't worry about it. You can learn quite a lot from iPhone. You can learn quite a lot from cell phones, ordinary cell phone, smartphone, because the advantage of smartphone is that it can give you a photo which is almost as good as a DSLR.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm a big fan of mobile photography.
Yes, yes. I do all my street photography from my iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't use my DSLR.
No. I think it was David Bailey who, I'm going to be wrong here, that said the best camera is the one that you have with you.
Yeah, right,
the mobile phone is always with you.
Phone. Yes, yes, yes.
What you can also get for mobile phones is clip-on lenses. So, so I have this case here,
Okay.
which cost, which is not expensive. It cost me, I think, about £10.
Oh,
Right. So this is my macro lenses and telephoto made in China. Like everything is made in China, right? But that enables me to get close-ups of all sorts of things, and you can slide the lenses over.
really good. Good. You have a lot of kits.
So
you carry quite a lot of, along with your cell phone, you have to carry all these things in your pocket.
Well, I don't carry it around all the time, but if I know that I'm going somewhere, and I want to take photos, I like taking photos of flowers and plants and stuff. That's my thing. But then I'll go and I'll take my case with me. But otherwise, I just my cell phone. Not that I can go anywhere other than my garden at the moment, so it's only going to be plant photos.
Right.
But I'm just wanted to connect you to another former AXSChat guest, which is Felipe from NOS Why Not, because he's set up an agency for photographers with disabilities, which I think I have made the connection, but I think that he's actively marketing the photos from his agency, and maybe there's an opportunity for your students to be able to make money and be self-supporting through agencies like that.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great initiative, that is.
Yeah. Excellent. So thank you very much for coming and talking with us today. It's been really great to hear about all of the work that you're doing, and what we're going to do is welcome you on Twitter on Tuesday. So thank you very much for sharing with us, because it's really fascinating to see what you're doing in a different part of the world. I'd also want to thank Barclays Access, MyClearText, and Microlink for helping us stay on air and continue to spread the word about all of the great inclusion initiatives around the world.
Thanks for calling me over. It was great talking to all of you, and hope we'll have many such chat in future also. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your work. I unmuted. I guess I can unmute.
Thank you. Thank you.